Hello there, welcome to Royal South Wales. There is a stretch of links land between Royal Porthcawl and Port Talbot Steelworks on the South Wales coast that Tom Doak called perfect for a golf course. Unfortunately, this can never happen as it's rightly protected. The best we can do is to bring it to life on the golf club, and that's what I've attempted to do here, sort of. Which I'll get into in a bit. I'm Mav78 off TGC Tours. Used to be my PlayStation name, I think, but it's now Dark Mavis. My real name's Mark Davis, so I just switched the names over on PlayStation. So yeah, so the idea was it's my CC contest entry, doing pretty well. I've had some good feedback. Took forever, I think. Well, we had 5 months to do it, and I just went to town. I never take this long normally, although actually I do take a long time on my courses because I'm a bit, I don't always get the time to go on here, commitments and stuff. I should say this is my new YouTube channel, Golf and Stuff, which it'll be pretty much everything golf. That's my vocation. I work on a golf course, so I'll try and do lots of content with golf, but I'll also do a few other I'm quite interested in lots of things, history, loads of sport, all different sports, science, astronomy, anything really. And it's good to have loads of stuff in your life you like, and it makes it a bit more interesting. So I'm going to get a vlogging camera pretty soon and maybe do a few vlogs as well. Well, not as well, that's the idea of having a YouTube channel. Everyone seems to have one nowadays, don't they? So my daughter wants me to do one as well. She's interested. She's getting that age now where she wants to film herself and all this. Decent little golfer as well, so maybe do some course vlogs, play a few courses. Should be fun. Right, first hole. Bearing in mind this is a CC contest entry, I was going away from it at the start. It was quite difficult course. It still is fairly difficult with the wind up, but it's sort of halfway through it dawned on me I need to mellow this out a little bit. It's getting a bit, this was a lot more undulating here. The obvious play is up the right. You've got the flattish lie. You see more of the green. But there is a few strategic options you can play into. Well, I'll end up in this bit now probably, and you've got more of a rumbled undulating lie. Same up the left there. That can be a bit strategic if you've got a right pin over there, which I'll show now. But the whole kind of idea with it is if you pull it, you're either going to bounce long left and actually end up in the bunker, or you're going to just be short of it here and have a bit of a blind sort of awkward shot in. Fairly straightforward. The bunkers, originally I wanted the playability aspect where I just put the pop bunkers in the fairway with the fairway drifting into them, but I sort of last minute, if I'm honest, I switched to actually making an effort with the bunkers to do them, because if you see at the front there, it'll hop into the bunker where it obviously is steep enough on the rough bit at the face to roll back into the bunker, because I wanted that playability. But the fact is it just doesn't look very good if you haven't got something around them centerline bunkers. It looks really bad. So I left that. I put a bit of heavy rough around the fairway bit, and I've got that little tease of the rock. It looks like a rocky face on this face. So from a distance, it looks a bit better, I think. Anyway, but the idea is that very often most of my shots here are fast. They go left, and that goes straight in the bunker. Not relevant today because it's 10 mile an hour wind in my face. When it comes to like I said, this is a CC course. I'm gonna do it like a tour version where I'll put all tournament objects and I'll make it a lot harder. I will start putting some more centerline bunkers, and maybe that bunker up there, I might sneak that over more. So if you do get a forward wind, all I've kind of done here is made it undulating. So if you've got to think about that if you do get a tailwind. Because there's not much defence there. If you have got a tailwind, there's not a lot of defence really. It's gonna be a pitch in, but anyway, let's get playing. Sorry, I'm waffling now. I might waffle a bit. One of the reasons I stopped doing these vids because I did one for Cloudbreak and I just kept waffling. I thought this is rubbish, so I do apologise, but I'll try and tone it down a bit. There we go. I've pulled it left, and you know I'm not gonna have such a great shot in now.
All right, and we are about 160 yards or so.
Hello, John. I didn't know I turned you back on. We love John, but I do end up turning him off in the end. But he snuck back on somehow. Right, 159. I'm hoping the new game coming out in August is a little different. Not there's anything. I think this is great. You've got to get that swing right. You've got to get the tempo. I'm just not so good at it. I was pretty good on TGC 1 because it was straight up. And I'm pretty good at working the numbers. I played golf games all my life, so that's pretty straightforward. But when it comes to the swing, this pad, I think it's my pad anyway, it's just not great. So anyway, short of the green. I did have bunkers there on the right, but I left it to some sort of undulations, and you know that is a tough shot if you end up in there. Can't come up short because of that runoff. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Bit of an awkward angle in from this point. I'll just go ahead and hit that. Oh, very fast. Look at that. I've had no practice, so that's my excuse. Power station in the background. Yeah, I'll get into that in a minute. I'll tell you about the sort of location and what I was trying to achieve with it, and it did drift away from that, which I kind of knew it would, because I wouldn't say it was featureless, but it is pretty much just dune land, and that is a genuine statement that Tom Doak called this land perfect. I think he was stood on the tee at a course nearby called Pyle and Kenfig, apparently on one of the tees, and that looked over, if you look in that direction, so you imagine he stood on the tee here and he looked over all that dunes land and said that, I don't know if he used the word perfect, but I know he gives some good comments and inquired about it, but you know, it's a nature reserve, rightly so. You can't just take up everything for golf, unless you're Trump. Right, what am I doing? That's just rubbish.
Coming off a bit of a bogey on that last hole. Let's see if we can do better here.
Hole 2. Some of that yellow on the left there, it was starting to look a little colourless, which it kind of is in real life, and you know, originally I was going for that. It's also not many trees, and in the end I added a few trees again. It was a bit characterless. You see I got a purple heather on the right there. That was just for aesthetic, to make it look a bit better. It's not particularly natural to the environment, I don't think. There's a bit of heather down, I'm sure, but it's not vibrant purple like that. And there on the left being Wales, or you know, daffodils. I hope people get that. I totally do. This tee shot took me forever to get right, to figure out, because originally the tee was lower and it was a blind fairway, and it just wasn't working very well. Something most designers do, they like this, you like to have the vision of what you're playing, you know, all in front of you. And Herbert Fowler was, I've talked about him on some of my older videos. He was a classic of that. He'd raise his tees slightly, and it also helped with the deception. So it's sort of downhill. It almost get the impression it's a flat hole, but it is slightly downhill, and the fairways would turn in the landing spot, and you know, you play through the fairway, you drive, and because of that little downhill sort of thing, you go too far into the heather, into the rough. I wanted a fairly wide, even if it was to toughen it up. I want you to have a go at this green in 2. I'm not going to be able to do that a day without wind. But the idea is the second shot is is where the thinking will come in with it. So I want everyone to hit the fairway and have that chance to have a go at it, sort of thing. But I did have that bunker on the right there towards the end. It's not really in play. It's just kind of a visual thing, or you can't really see it. I think if the light was down a bit, you might. Yeah, I'm going to be laying up anyway, so all a bit irrelevant.
So far, so good for this one.
I've taken a little lob wedge flop up to within range. I think I should be able to get there with it. Certainly with a fast I might get up there. Just to give you an idea what I was trying to achieve with this second shot. It's probably one of the nicest second shots I've done in any of my courses. I saw there was a bit of planning with it, but it kind of turned out you end up fiddling with it and playing it over and over and get an idea. One thing I tend to do quite a lot, if you're going to lay up, it's quite hard to lay up close when you put a bunker 50 yards on the green. So the original intention with the water was the backs of these sort of hillocks, mounds in front of the green. I don't think, if I firm it up they might, but I don't think with a second shot, possibly with wind behind even, it might hit the front of these and boot on into the water. That was kind of the thinking behind it, but I haven't had one happen yet. So, but it's actually coming more into play with the pitch shot from this angle. Obviously it's harder over here to lay up, so most people are going to lay up here, and then that, if you do a left pulley fast shot with a pitch, there's a good chance you can end up in the water. So it was sort of unintentional, if I'm honest with you, but it seems to, it's worked out quite well. Again, just playing it over and over again. But yeah, you've got to sort of feed it through these mounds. Let's have a go. Let's see. I think that's probably too strong a wind, but I didn't hit fast either. Yeah, this will kick me right now, obviously.
Very nice.
And then it's a tricky little green. You've got this front bit here. That is probably my favourite part, because it is a tier, but it's sort of quite subtle. It looks as if you can't put a pin down there, but you can, and you can stop it from the putt from the top as well. It's sort of like a bowl, and then there's a pin you can put up on the right there on that little tier. So I'm quite chuffed with this hole. A few features, a little castle. There is actually a castle at Kenvig. I don't know if it's called Kenvig Castle, but it might be. Toilets there. In the background I got a little campsite as well. It's just trying to find, with the objects we've got, being able to sort of create little different features like that. Getting quite creative. I guess playing the game a long time. I did a course before this called Merthyr Mawr, and it was almost like a test course for this, it turned out, into which I'll show you some of the things I did there, and I enhanced, but doing it there, learning that I could try this. I enhanced it here, like making it a bit better, and it fitted in quite well. Anyway, I am so bad on this game. Originally that middle section of the fairway there was a centerline bunker, like a long stretching one, but I took it out for pretty much, it was a bit too difficult. It was shallow enough to get to the green, but it was quite difficult for CC level, I thought. So it still comes into play. It can give you a bit of an awkward stance, but it is kind of pretty straightforward. You play up the left to give you an angle in that way. Probably a better angle here, which was a little bit more of a difficult shot, a bit narrower. Oh, I'm really bad on this game. I haven't played it for ages properly like this. I was starting to get a bit better, but as soon as I get off it, that's it. This second shot into the third took a while to get right. These backstops weren't originally there. The green was flat, but if you had a tailwind you couldn't really stop it on this. It was kind of trying to entice you into going for it, and it wouldn't stop. It'd roll off to the back bunker. And then I added this front right portion here, just so a safe play. You could feed it in from there, play there, feed it in, and have a pretty flat putt. So it weren't too bad. But it was, like I said, with a tailwind, it was really tough, and I didn't want it to be the same old shot every time. If you had wind in your face and you'd hold it up, you'd be able to hold it up and probably stop it. But if you increase the firmness as well, maybe you couldn't. I don't know. But So I added these backstops, so it's a bit quite an easy hole now. It's a lot easier because I can just play into that backstop and have a fairly easy putt. If you do go either side of the pin, and then you've got a fairly difficult putt across the green. Yeah, so I'll go. Proof in point now. See if I can where that pin is. I haven't really got the backstop, so look at that. I can't even show you a shot because I can't either. I do apologise.
Whoa, that was dialed in. Nice approach. Alrighty, moving on. And that'll keep you at 2 over for the round. Okay, let's tee up another one. We've got hole number 4.
I'll skip through a few holes and just show you some of my favourites. I quite like this one with the layup. Probably strategically not a lot to it. I think people who get up are just going to smack it down here. It is reachable, I think, with the tailwind, but I haven't really thought much. It folds in the green, so there's always that, it gathers, so you could feed it in. But it's not really meant to play as a short par 4. It was originally. It had turned into this sort of layup, trying to lay up well, so you don't have, if you don't quite get it right, you're going to be on this uphill with them big bunkers at the front with a steep runoff, that kind of thing. So I'll let you figure out how to get into the green with a tailwind if you can. But I quite like the look of it more than anything. I think this might be my favourite hole on the course. This and the next one, stretch of 2 holes, probably my favourite. This view kind of evolved where a short par 3. I love a short par 3. Who don't? Surrounded by bunkers. Probably a bit like the postage stamp, but it is kind of my my idea with it. But the way it looks out with the lighthouse and everything, 130 yards downhill, playing it probably, I think it's gap wedge 122 roughly. But you have to kind of, if you've got one at the front pin, you've got to take this bunker on a little bit. Very penal, but if you want to get to that pin, you've got to land it kind of short of that slope, or it'll catch the next tier here. If you've got a pin it there, you've got to land it on that tier. If I'm making any sense, you've got to land it on the tier before for it to roll down to that pin position. And obviously, if the pin's at the back, then you're not gonna. If you go too long in the bunkers, and you'll feed into the bunkers there. Let's have a go. Let's try not to hit it very fast. They might get away with it. I should find the bottom tier. It's very... No, I think we're alright. Yeah, not too bad.
Alright, you're on the green. Got a lot of work to do.
Try and get a good visual of the tiers now, where they, it's very steep, look. Because it's a wedge, though, it's a tough hole. It's making a very short hole pretty tough. Not too bad.
Okay, this one for par.
It's a shame I haven't got a tailwind, because the next hole is, I think you can gather. I've not had a chance to. That is a bit of a problem with the design. You can't test tailwind, headwinds and stuff. If you want to test a headwind, you can just drop to a 2-wood and that'll show you where you land, but you can't really hit it further, so that might catch a bunker, actually. It should kick it away though. again, being a, it's quite easy when I come to making that course tougher, I might flatten that out, so if you do pull it left there, it will go in the bunker. But as for now, it's just a little bit right in the bunker, it'll kick it left. Quite hard to stop if you've got a tailwind and you're far out. So again, I got your little backstop over there, and you'll have to play the tough putt. But I said, Jim, when he put his vid on YouTube, I said, I don't care, as long as people notice the surfers. I don't care if they hate the course, but there they are anyway. There's a little reef there, and they're surfing back there. They're actually flowers, giant flowers. So that's one of them, don't go in too close. Bit like that, I got a lighthouse tower there. Sorry, a lifeguard tower, hut, or whatever they're called there. If you go in too close, it looks a bit rubbish. Although the car's pretty cool, because it's red and yellow, that's the lifeguard colours in this country. And also the flag, I love doing a little flag. Can't see that on the place, so you can't even see it from on the green. It doesn't show up. But one thing cool about watching people's playthroughs, you can see it on the PC right from back here, sort of thing. So I hope that wind does something. Oh, this is going long. Oh, there we are. Not bad. Sweet.
Alright, nice little 2-foot putt. Well,
Clawing back that par.
par 4 here. That's a nice.
I've taken a while now with this, so I'm going to start speeding through. But little dual fairway here. Come about sort of towards the end, I had that bunker was actually left of this fairway, but they were so close. I had this strip of rough I didn't know what to do with, so I thought, why not just fill it in and have it all as fairway. That's pretty much how that come about. Castle in the background there. I'll show you a bit of that now, because that's another part of the course where I went to town with. Even like the left side here, you've got a fence in with a post. Just little features like that was pretty cool. I had the time to do it. You're a bit bored of planting or playing it over and over and trying to get it right. What quirky things, and you think of stuff, bored, you think of something, try that, and you try it, and you figure out a way of kind of getting it. So again, it looked quite good.
This one looks pretty safe.
Little punch bowl green, sort of.
And looks like, I'd say 160 yards or so out from the pin.
That's not going to go, is it? Feed it in if you want to. 11 was a bit awkward, took a while to get right. If it is right, I'm still not. There's a couple of holes, this hole and 13, which I'll show you, which I will probably alter a little bit. It's not too bad. The original, there was a bunker there, again, not a particularly long hole, but it was a bit tough for CC, so I just rumbled it up a little bit, and you can kick it in from the left there. And when the bunker was there, that came into play a bit more. I'm going to try it actually. I might end up going in there, but I'm going to try and smack one in the water to see if it ever was going to. It was more of a, you carry the bunker and that a bit in between if you wanted to land in, you had the water. So it was more, again, a bit like the second, it was more of an imposing feature rather than actually coming into play. But I never really got a chance to see if it works. We'll have a go. Are we close? Yeah, it does, I think. It will, if you hit the downslope there, it would come into play, so that's pretty cool. This area of land I keep going on about between Porthcawl and Port Talbot, that's my steelworks there. Not at all like Port Talbot, like I said. Did I say it was like Gotham City? The only resemblance I've got is some towers with what's attempted to be smoke coming out. It's disappointing, and if I go back even there, I can't see any smoke. But it was, I noticed with Jim's, I'm pretty sure I could see him from the first tee, which is nice to know. That same with the flags, you can actually you can see on the PC versions, you can see it. So that was something. I've got a pier over here. that if I deleted them stones, it'd remove half my object meter. So originally I had two wrapping around. There were like two walls that were keep this pier like a harbour, which is true to life. It's a place called Aberravon. I think it's Aberravon Pier, but I guess it's for fishing, so I put some fishing lines on there. I don't think there's a dock, but for visual effect, I put a dock there, and that lighthouse isn't there either, I'm afraid. I'll play 12 now because 12's one of my favourite holes as well. A few people have said they like 12, so I quite like the green on this one. It's sort of I don't know why you call it. You got like a humpback going through the middle, and you gotta get up and over that. So. And that's not going to do it.
Wind could come into play on this hole.
12 is probably the hole that a few people have mentioned the most. Where see playing it doesn't. It's not. I don't think there's an awful lot to it. I have kind of used the vistas. That's what makes the hole. I mean, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it, but I think there's better holes. But obviously, because it looks good. More attention is paid to it, which is fair enough. There's a speedboat out there with the again trying to do a few little things, and no one's ever going to notice much, which is why I'm pointing it out so you notice now. And my lifeguard tower looking pretty good back there. Yeah, it's pretty not much to it really. That's supposed to be a halfway hut that maybe they come out every morning, and because there's no halfway hut, they come out every morning and set it up. So that's why that's there, if you're wondering. Ninth hole, ninth tee. There are some rock pools over there, and
around 175 yard shot here.
I think, yeah. Underneath there, the rocks reef, I tried to get some looks like some reeds, seaweed or whatever growing up in the light, just because it looked a bit odd with just rocks sat there. So if you put a bit of plankton, is it, underneath, it looks a bit better.
Someone's gonna need to bite. Here.
Yeah, 13. I don't know if it's the weakest hole, but it was just one I just couldn't. You see, I got a little bit of water over there. I was just kind of a little bit at a loss what to do it. Even this front bit where I got these dunes coming across it's not fantastic, but it was just trying to add something to it. Although the hole doesn't play too bad, in fairness. It's a bit extreme to the left here. You've got the bunker, and if the idea is you get in this area here or clear over there. If you're on this bank, it's a bit more of a difficult shot. I've not played this with a tailwind, so I want to see if it does run out where I've stopped the fairway there, because that was the original idea. So you can come in with a bit of a longer club. It's not really, it doesn't really matter anyway, so
okay, so we have about
could have brought it forward a little bit more.
Thereabouts.
Yeah, the front of the green, even these bunkers I put in last, I'm not enamored with them. They just, I don't know, I think it's because you've got this little waste bunker kind of section, and then you've got them. I'm not sure. Anyway, I said it's done now, and 3 over par. Just so you know, I'm not that bad on this game. I really ain't. I'm not very good on it, but I'm kind of rushing through, and even getting annoyed though when I rush and miss a putt. I still get annoyed, even though I know I'm rushing for a reason. Anyway, there's only 2 par 3s and 2 par 5s on this course, which it's not relevant. It shouldn't really. I don't think it should matter at all on a golf course. There's a course in Surrey called the Berkshire, which I played a while back. 6 par 5s, 6 par 4s, and 6 par 3s. I think that should be the template for golf, not the 4 par 5s, 4 par 3s. I think it should be 6 of each to make me more fun. But you should really make the course to. You want to be a par 70. Just, you don't see many 73s, but there's nothing wrong with them really. But most of my courses end up a 72. If I make it a 71 or a 70, it's generally so it's not a 72, you know, trying to get away from that. Every course is a 72, you know, but it shouldn't matter really. Another one of my favourite holes anyway, all based on this pin position really. This is a tricky pin if you get one here with that to the right, but I like the fact it's not a reading green, or a riding, whatever you call it, reading, redden. But it plays a lot like it. If you go straight at it, I'll be okay there. That wind will take me up the bank. I think I'll be okay anyway. But I noticed when Jim played, he tried to carry it onto here and it kicked forward. That front bit there is deliberate. If you try and go at the pin, it's going to hit that, bounce through, and that's why I got that little drop off there. You've got to kind of come in. If the wind's in your face, you'll probably be alright. But the idea is you kind of play here and it feeds around. And obviously if you push it a little bit right, that's when you end up down here. Let's have a go. Slow. Oh god, I'm not getting away with that, I don't think. So now I've missed it. Like it's not too difficult of a putt. I am made it stupid, but it will be pretty difficult. And it's still going.
Nice. And if this drops, you'll get your birdie here.
That's pretty straightforward, really, isn't it? Yeah, pretty funky little hole, as is the next one.
4 feet to the hole, you can do this.
Despite the lack of par 5s and lack of par 3s, I think there's three short par 4s. So two of them are maybe reachable. This is definitely reachable. Not today though. Crikey. Again, it's that if you lay up, you either lay up correctly, like to here, and have a nice flat lie, longer shot, or you know you're giving yourself a really awkward layup on a horrible slope, and that's something I kind of use a lot. I'm gonna lay up awkwardly anyway because I'm stupid.
Well, I'm liking this one.
I was playing real life golf yesterday and I was all square on 11 and my friend had put one out of bounds, so I had the shot and I tried to draw a 6 iron off a bit of a tight lie and put it straight to a water feature. I was livid because I had the whole one. I only had to lay up with an 8 iron, chipping a putt, chipping 2 putts, maybe even 3, but I took the 7 and lost, drew the hole and then lost the game. Which is a shame because I've been playing pretty good lately this year. I was hoping to get away with using these helipads as the I couldn't get a road to go over the top. I had to create a gap. I'm sure there was another way of doing it. I don't know why I chose that way, but Jim with his sky cam went zooming in there and you could see it's in close. It's not good, but it doesn't matter anyway from back here. It's just the visual effect from a distance. Same with the rate field there. That was something I did at Merthyr Mawr. I got the tracks going up there to a pylon, I think. Castle. There's even, I think Jim Ding going very close with Mike. I'm pretty chuffed for this. There's a pub there, which is a bit lame actually. But my little housing estate thing, going to a park. This was when that's what I'm saying. We had so long to do it. I was just bored one day, and thought I'd create a little park with swings and whatever that is. One of them walking balance things, roundabout, climbing wall. I even put the little rocks for the climbing, I think. So yeah, pretty cool. I enjoyed doing it. It was, it was just a bit of fun. I won't ever get that intricate ever again, I doubt, unless it's a competition. But 17. I'm not going to waffle on much more because I've got to get going. But that wind actually brings this out of bounds into play. a bit more there. I quite like that actually. It was again, that took I didn't actually go to town on that wall. I didn't want it to, because if you head over there, I kind of want you to go through there, otherwise you're going to be stuck in a load of rocks. So visually it looks okay. I didn't go overboard with it. This bit, the idea was if you hug the wall, look, you've got a nice sort of entrance there, nice tight line, a good angle to the green. If you bail a bit, you're in this sort of area, which to the right of that is pushing you to the OB with your second shot, which could be a long iron. But I don't think, unless you really tug it, you're going to go out of bounds there. I'm going to be able to... You are. First hand look, straight out of bounds. Ooh, whoa. At least you get to see my style. See, I did it properly.
And it appears you have gone out of bounds.
I thought I'd made it then. Well, it was okay. Yeah, there's my style look. I went to town a bit more with that. I forgot to show you my rugby pitch. Bear with me. The home of rugby Wales, apart from New Zealand, they kick our ass in there every time. There you go. Somebody said they've seen football pitches, baseball, all that, but not a rugby pitch, so hopefully that's the first one. There we go. Okay, last hole. Plenty of options on the tee, which angle you want to go into the green from. Originally there was a bunker up here, but I've created a bit of a hump back, so if you want to get down into there or over here, you can get it wrong and give yourself the awkward angle. Plenty of ways you can get into the pin positions at the green though. I gotta stop moving my camera around, haven't I? Does that probably makes you sick watching it? Fiddling about. Anyway, got my range there with a few targets. That's actually supposed to be another golf course in the background there, with a bunker. I've got a green up there. Clubhouse is okay, pretty simple. Kept it quite simple. You've got your entrance point where you put your code in to get in. Blah de blah. Greenkeeping sheds back there, car park. The creme de la creme at the end. My flags. Again, don't go too close. Scottish, English, British. Sorry, I didn't have an Irish, Northern Irish flag, but it took a while and I didn't have the inclination, so I do apologise. United Kingdom, British Open is Northern Ireland as well, so apologies to all my Irish friends. I should have just put an Irish flag and all. We're all the same, I think, over here. The Welsh flag, typical, is just a monstrosity, but from a distance it's still a monstrosity. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you can, do subscribe and like the vid. Even if you thought it was rubbish, just do it. It's only a click. And like I said, it's a new channel. I'm going to try and make an effort with this and do some course vlogs and all this stuff. I just want to say on the topic of bunkers that by having centerline bunkers, you can really enhance your course strategically. I think it's the only way myself, and that's why links courses are so, a bit of a you've got to work your way around the bunkers kind of thing. But it's a shame with this game that we can't really do it, because the blend between sand and fairway is so poor. I mean, even if they had a lip, I mean, why can't there be a little lip? And that's all you need. But we've got to kind of make our own versions of it, and it's not too bad. But you're guaranteed someone's gonna get stuck right by there on an awkward stance, a stupid stance. And like I said, my original thing with this was I don't care about what it looks like. I wanted to play properly, so I want the ball to roll in off these banks. If you go too close, it'll funnel in the bunker like proper links. But it just looks so bad that I didn't bother going through with that, which is a bit of a cop out really. And I should have stuck to my guns so it played better. But I know I would have been marked for that. I know people would have said that that looks crap, and that's more important, the aesthetic, in a lot of ways. No offense or anything, I don't mean that, but it just looks so bad that that's just how it is. So anyway, there's the call. I gotta go. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye. See ya.